Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. It has been said that it doesn't matter what you believe as long as you are sincere. That God will accept you no matter what you believe as long as you put all of your heart and soul into what you believe. Even if it's contradictory to God Himself, even if it goes against what God has said, even if you worship and serve God, you're just doing it differently and calling God a different name. And there are all kinds of ways that people will justify worshiping someone who isn't God. The problem with that, you can worship and serve a God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength, and with all sincerity. But that does not make that God real. Just as an example, there's a thing called the flying spaghetti monster. Now, somebody made up this creature and called it his religion. He did it to make fun of religion, that people would believe and worship anything. And he was right, because there are people who sincerely worship the flying spaghetti monster. They call it their religion, and they put all their heart and soul into it. There are people who sincerely believe that the earth is flat, even though there is evidence upon evidence upon evidence that the earth is not flat. But people will believe it no matter how much evidence you show them. There are people who truly believe in psychics, even though there is no evidence that these people are real. Most of them, they're only after your money, and you can only get your answers if you pay them $500. If you want to know if someone's dead or alive, you pay them $500, and suddenly the spirits will talk to them. Or if you pay them money, they will figure out the name of somebody from your past, or they will figure out who you're going to marry in the future, or how many years you'll be married, how many children you have. They make it up as they go. And there have been people who have tested these psychic abilities, and everyone who has had their abilities tested has failed. So it doesn't matter if you are very sincere about it. If it's not true, then your faith is in vain. Your sincerity means nothing. What you believe means nothing. It has to be true, and it has to be real. Now, there are religions all over the world, and people believe a variety of things. But if it isn't true, then the faith in those things are not real. Now, you say, well, of course I would say that. I believe the God of the Bible, and I do. There is plenty of evidence for His existence. There's plenty of evidence that He came to earth and named Himself and was named Jesus, and that He died on a cross and that He rose from the grave. There is evidence outside of the Bible of that. If you look it up, you will find it. So yes, I believe it not only with sincerity, but with truth. See, God is truth, the Bible tells us. And if you're believing in a God who is not God Himself, it doesn't matter what you call that God. It doesn't matter how sincere you are. You are not worshiping and serving God. You are worshiping and serving a man-made figure. And people do it all the time. And I know I'm going to hurt some feelings. I'm going to break some hearts. But it's true. You research the history of the religion you believe, and you go through and find out things about it. I mean, true things about it. Not the defense of it, but the things that actually happen, the facts. Treat it like a news report. Well, hopefully a good news report. Treat it like it's facts and look it up, and you'll find out where these religions originated. And ask yourself, is this true? Is this real? Or is this something a human being made up? Let's face it, there are people who have made up all kinds of things. And yeah, people made up things about Jesus too, but there is true historical fact about Him, despite what people have made up. And I'm going to talk about Jesus next time, because this is a two-part message of the misconceptions of what you believe. It does matter what you believe. If you do not believe in the truth, then it will not set you free. If you do not believe in the truth, then what you believe does not matter. You can make up anything, believe it, but it doesn't mean it's real. And if you study far enough and you research long enough, you will find out that these things aren't real. And if you study the Bible, if you study the history of the Bible, if you study the outside sources of the Bible, you will find out that it is true and it is real. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.